Currently, the ongoing pandemic of COVID-19 has killed thousands of people, is affecting the economy, and shifting people further into isolation. As awful as COVID-19 is it possible we just got merely lucky? What other horrible viruses exist in the world just begging to thrive on the human population? In this video, we'll take a look at one virus in particular. During the summer of 1967, a group of African green monkeys were captured on the shores of Lake Victoria in Uganda, East Africa. The group of monkeys were transported to 3 separate locations across Europe. The first, Marburg, Germany, a university town located in the German state of Hesse. The second, Frankfurt, Germany, a large city also located in Hesse. And the third being Belgrade, Yugoslavia. The monkeys were sent to laboratories in these locations to be dissected for medical research. Various researchers at the times were trying to obtain kidney cells from within the monkeys, where they would be used to attempt to cultivate polio vaccine strains. In the process, the workers were exposed to the blood, tissue, and organs of the animals. Days later, workers exposed to the monkeys started getting symptoms of extreme malaise, rapid fevers, and crippling headaches, where they were treated in their homes for about a week or so. Days went by, and these individuals became increasingly worse. Rashes over the skin, vomiting, and diarrhea. Individuals began to externally bleed from their body, like their eyes, ears, gums, and further showing signs of internal bleeding. Many were then admitted into their local hospitals. Shortly after, patients began dying of severe hemorrhagic shock. This is where the bodies of the infected slowly began to shut down due to extreme blood and fluid loss. 31 reported primary and secondary cases of this mysterious disease were recorded, where 7 individuals passed away, a 23% mortality rate. In less than 3 months, scientists had the virus isolated, characterized, and identified, which they named the Marburg Virus. The Marburg virus was named after the location the original outbreak took place, a common convention for naming viruses and diseases. The Marburg virus is part of the Filoviridae family of viruses. Marburg virus is only one of 2 viruses in the genus called Marburg virus, the Raven virus being the other. The Marburg virus itself refers to the actual virus, which then causes Marburg virus disease, or MVD, in certain primates. This disease may also be referred to as Marburg hemorrhagic fever, among a few other names. Hemorrhagic fevers are classified anywhere from 93 through 90% fatality rates. Another virus of the Filoviridae family producing similar symptoms is the Ebola virus. This virus has an 83 through 90% fatality rate. The Ebola virus first appeared in 1976, almost a decade after the Marburg virus. So where does the Marburg virus come from? The initial 1967 case finds the virus to have lived in a group of African green monkeys, which were taken from the area around Lake Victoria, Uganda. The monkeys, however, are not thought to be the natural reservoir of Marburg virus. The World Health Organization claims the natural reservoirs of Marburg virus and Ebola virus are unknown, though increasing amounts of evidence point to Egyptian fruit bats as the source. It's thought these fruit bats, which live in extremely high concentrations near Lake Victoria, have infected the original monkeys. Further, it's thought the virus has existed for much longer than when it was first encountered in 1967, though its exact age and origin remain unknown. It is documented the workers in the original incident were dissecting the monkeys where they were exposed to the blood, tissue, and other bodily fluids. Later research suggests the disease to spread from person to person, or animal to person, by direct contact with the infected hosts, or more specifically, their bodily fluids. This was documented in human-to-human transmission cases, where bodily fluids range from sweat and tears to blood and semen. Once the virus has entered the host's body, there is about 5 through 9 days before the appearance of symptoms. This is known as the incubation period. In Marburg virus disease, symptoms generally occur in 3 stages: generalization, early organ stage, and late organ stage. The first 1 to 5 days of symptoms, the generalization stage, the infected display high fevers, rashes, headaches, vomiting, nausea, and overall body pains. The workers in 1967 experienced these in their homes after the incubation period, but before admission to any hospital. From days 3 to 13, the early organ stage, individuals with MVD start displaying more severe symptoms, like internal and external bleeding, high fever, and extreme pain. The early organ stage, which occurs in progressing MVD, produces hemorrhaging from various organs and openings in the body, like the ears, eyes, gums, and rectum. Further symptoms may even include coma and seizures. From here, the late organ stage may begin to occur. This is the fatal stage for the infected. Convulsions, extreme dehydration, multi-organ failure, and hemorrhagic shock affect the body, ending the suffering of the individual. Recorded deaths of Marburg virus usually are the result of multi-organ failure and hemorrhagic shock. Of course, like other diseases, not everyone will reach that stage or display the same exact symptoms. Individuals with MVD who do not progress to a fatal stage generally show overall pain, sweating, peeling of the skin, and secondary infections during the recovery period. The 1967 case isn't the only recorded outbreak of Marburg virus. There's been a total of 12 outbreaks since the original 1967 incident, the worst one being the Angola Outbreak in southern Africa. Between the years 2004 and 2005, the Angola Outbreak recorded 252 individuals that were infected with MVD, in which 227 of them died. This is the largest amount of recorded MVD human cases at one time, and one of the highest fatality rates recorded for the disease. The majority of recent outbreaks seem to occur in Africa, however there are a few exceptions. In 2008, 2 individuals returned from Uganda to their home countries of the Netherlands and the United States. Both individuals spent time in Uganda, in fact exploring the same Uganda cave, the Python Cave. A week goes by, and both of these individuals were admitted into hospitals with unusual alarming symptoms. Chills, rashes, and diarrhea. Doctors conduct extensive testing to determine what the patients might be experiencing. Days go by and still no clue to what is happening to these patients' bodies. The individual from the Netherlands begins to go through the early organ phase, and the doctors are still clueless. Eventually, progressing to late organ stage, the results come back from the national laboratory, confirming that the Netherlands patient has Marburg virus disease. Unfortunately, just 1 day later, this patient passed away from cerebral edema. The other individual from the United States would go on to make a full recovery. As luck would have it, no other recorded individuals were infected in this small case. But just how safe are we from a devastating large-scale Marburg virus outbreak? Well, good news. Besides select regions in Africa, there are currently no examined species of bats or animal hosts carrying the Marburg virus. If you do come in contact with an infected animal carrying Marburg virus, contracting the virus may be extremely likely. Even if you aren't close to the infected animal, the virus may enter your body via their feces, aerosols, bodily fluids, or cell cultures. From here, it can only take one infected individual to create a large-scale outbreak. While there's no real say as to how likely a large-scale Marburg virus disaster may occur, it's examined that human-to-human transmission may spread relatively quick without proper precautions. As we've seen with previous Marburg virus outbreaks, the key steps seem to be isolation, protection, and disinfection, similar to what we're seeing with the current COVID-19 virus outbreak. Unfortunately, a vaccine was in the works, but discontinued, meaning there is no cure for Marburg virus disease. Several other vaccines and treatments were being actively researched, but nothing proved extremely effective. While there's no effective treatment for Marburg virus disease, primary treatments include supportive care, which are fluid IVs, antimicrobials, and blood transfusions. Based on the examined fatality rates, a large-scale Marburg virus outbreak could be as bad, if not worse, than cases of the bubonic plague. It's hard to believe that such a tiny entity exists in this world that can cause such a large-scale disaster. These viruses really make you wonder what other things are lingering in the shadows of our planet, or maybe lingering right in front of our eyes. For more content like this, subscribe to the channel and give me a big old thumbs up. Any suggestions for content, leave me a comment or email me at mt.caveat@gmail.com. Have a great day, guys, and stay healthy.